Hey Joe, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Russ?
Doing really well. Thanks so much for doing this morning. And so let's start off. Just wanted to find out, maybe you could tell the audience what you're doing right now as your recruiting niche, how many years experience you have, and ultimately what brought you to Recruitemy.
Okay, very good. I'm working in the data center construction, mission critical construction space. And actually, it was not my first niche, but I'll get to that in a second. So, my background is I was actually in IT consulting, management consulting, sales to the financial services industry for about 25 years and had a great career there. And then the time came for me to be doing something else and always wanted to help people, so decided to be a recruiter. And what I thought I made a big mistake on. I figured I had a strong background in data and AI and that I could lift and shift the relationships I had with very large companies directly into my recruiting business. And I hit it at the time where people were applying for jobs, and you go on LinkedIn and see 1,000 applicants per position. And I found out that with approved vendor lists and all the obstacles that are set up, that it just wasn't going to work. So I decided, okay, what do I really enjoy? I've always enjoyed construction. I've always enjoyed engineering. My bachelor's degree was engineering related. My father was a construction worker. And I looked at the market, and with your help and the help of the program, I decided my new niche was going to be mission critical and data center construction. So that's how I got into it, and that's what I'm doing now, and I'm enjoying every day.
Awesome. It's interesting. So engineer by trade, right? Like a techie guy, safe to
I
say?
I
Okay.
was I was one of those people that I got the technical undergraduate degree and then I got the MBA, and I figured that combination was going to be great, and it did open a lot of doors for me in terms of jobs over the years when I was working for other people, and but never actually practiced as an engineer, just had that mindset and was always able to pick up technical things maybe a little quicker than some of my peers were.
For the person watching who has minimal sales background but is considering starting their own recruiting agency, can you maybe speak to the tools and systems and strategies of Recruitemy as it pertains to LinkedIn strategies, Recruitemy Leadcast, and the stuff we talk about in the weekly calls? Do you think that would really benefit someone coming into the program?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. Going back to my story, so when I was flat out failing in the prior niche, I was looking around at, okay, who's out there for training? What kind of training are they offering? I'd already been through training. I watched a number of YouTube videos of different people before I even started the business. And I found you, and there were things that really attracted me in terms of what I felt I was missing in my business, because I look at Recruiter Me as almost like recruiting in a box. So you mentioned the LinkedIn, and I was making phone calls and I was sending thousands of emails and had a marketing email sequence program, which I still have. I haven't used in months now, where I really got nothing. I got nothing back. And I looked at what you were offering from the standpoint of, okay, the market's changing. People are not picking up their phones the way that they used to. People are definitely not responding to mass emailing the way that they used to. I don't blame them. And I looked at, okay, there's a different approach that's being offered here. And the LinkedIn approach just makes total sense in terms of how that works. But I also looked at it from the standpoint of what else are you offering beyond that? That's to open doors both with clients and candidates, but what other services can you provide? And I looked at the whole laundry list of all of the different templates and the different materials that I'm sure we'll get into in a moment here, and said, yeah, that makes total sense. And it was so easy to do because if I get one placement from one nugget that I got from you, that hasn't paid for Recruiter.me, it's paid for Recruiter.me many times over. So it
Yeah,
made sense.
that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Have you leveraged the one-on-one video marketing strategy, the MPC templates? And I like doing these videos because we didn't rehearse this. We're just talking to each
Mhm.
other. And if you haven't, that's fine. But if you have, what kind of experience, what kind of results have you gotten from it? Do you feel like it makes you stand out from other recruiters?
Yeah, so I had already signed up with another applicant tracking system, but I have utilized the template. So the template's available through your ATS, which I've seen in the trainings, and some of my peers that are in the training class really enjoy it and they're getting a lot of value out of it. But your concept of the most placeable candidate and the template concept and how that works through your system. I borrowed that and very inexpensively had something very similar made up. And then there's just a whole laundry list of things that I've gotten from templates and contracts. And the other huge one is your proposal. So your proposal that you shared is far more slides than what I would ever use, but it is a whole bunch of slides that for anyone who wants to grab what they need from that, or they could take the whole thing as is because it worked so well for you over the years. They could do that. And again, it's just another example of how long would this have taken me to do myself, and does it get justified by being part of Recruiting Me? And the answer's been 100% yes.
It's awesome. I would say out of the 195 active members that we have in the program right now, I really enjoy when you come to the weekly coaching calls, and you always show up, by the way, Joe. So I appreciate that. But we have a lot of commonalities because you haven't been in recruiting long, but I feel like you've been in recruiting for 20 plus years, especially when it comes to the advice that you give the membership base with performance-based search or retained search, which is something that I really am a big believer in. I think most recruiters should go that route just for the sake of them not getting burnt out, not getting ghosted by hiring managers, and having
Mm-hmm.
more of a loyal commitment and being appreciated by companies and
Right.
hiring managers. That's the biggest thing. So maybe you can speak to that. How do you feel like the idea of getting a payment up front before you do anything has benefit you in the program that we serve?
I'll answer that, but if I can just take a step back, if you're a new recruiter who is really looking for that recruiting in a box, you absolutely have to have a conversation with you to learn more than what you and I could ever discuss on this short video. But then if you're a recruiter who has been in the business and you're like, okay, I'm, and I've got a real pet peeve about this one, but if you're tired of just throwing resumes over the transom, and the industry statistics I think are pretty clear that when you do contingent based search that you might win maybe 15% of the work that you go for. But there's a problem right now in the industry, and this has been written about in the Wall Street Journal and other places, where that 15% number is no longer applying. And the reason for that is a lot of companies have been putting out job postings and having recruiters run around like a chicken with their head cut off, just chasing jobs where they have no intention whatsoever of placing someone. So for me, if you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, I've got a 15% chance if I don't get it, but Russ, the other recruiter, gets it, I just need to be better the next time. And but if the answer is, well, Russ didn't get it either, nor did John or Jill or Bob or Ted, none of us got it, then you got to say to yourself, as a business professional, as a business owner, it is time for me to learn how to get money up front. I'm no longer going to work for free for people that are not my customers. I have said this on the call, though, that if I have a customer and they have done business with me and they come to me and they say, hey, Joe, we can't do this in a retained fashion. We've got to do it contingent. Can you help us out? They're my customer. They have put money in my pocket. I'm absolutely going to help them out. But I spent so much time working for free. I can't do it anymore. And other people that are listening to this, you can't do it anymore. You can, if you know there's going to be a winner and a loser at the end, and the end is not too far out, yeah, take your shot. But if you're not certain, then what are you doing? You have no consultant, no. Can you imagine if a company said to a lawyer, hey, why don't you do this work for us? And if we like you, or an accountant, do this work for us. And if at the end we like you, we might pay you, and maybe we'll pay no one. You all can compete for my business. It's like, how did we get in this situation? So what
Yeah, that's
Recruiter Me
good.
offers and what your conversations have been, your trainings have been great in terms of giving people not only the strength to do what I'm talking about, but also the processes and the concepts and the supporting materials that you provide.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know you and I have such a passion for retained search, performance-based search, as we call it. And I love what you bring to the coaching calls. We've done a ton of role playing too and different objection handling scenarios. And I got a lot of members that come in brand new to the program and dive into all the recorded coaching calls that we've done over the past 2 years, which has added a lot of value to them too. Joe, can't thank you enough for being here this morning, for contributing in the membership base and all that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I'm very glad I'm part of the program.